welcome to Give Me the Mic. We're so glad you're here with us again. I'm Faye Bailey Lucas, your host for this evening. We have an awesome show in store for you today. And so I just want to go ahead and dive in. The title of this segment is going to be called Love Conditioner. Now, know you're wondering, love conditioner, what is she talking about? Well, I am a PhD. And I know you're wondering, what is a PhD? Well, I'm in the beauty industry for those who do not know. And PhD stands for Professional Hair Designer. And the reason I'm going to talk to you about love conditioner because I am going to give you an analogy with life and how conditioner work. Okay? So we created a conditioner, my son and I talked to the chemist and I told him, I said, I want a conditioner that's going to be set apart from the rest. And so I, as a cosmetologist, a PhD, I know the best conditioner has lots and lots of emollients, which is oil. So I wanted lots of oil in our conditioner. And when he created this conditioner for us, it was amazing. It made the hair feel like butter. It made the hair so smooth and so silky. And so I was thinking, that's just like life. When hair is brittle and broken, we need to have a conditioner called love conditioner in life. When we are broken and when we are feeling bitter and we have a hard heart, now you look at this demonstration of the hair. There are three layers of one strand of hair. And that is the outer layer, which is your protective layer, and it is called the cuticle. And I'm going to say that that would be our heart, the very human side of us, the very essence of who we are. Then you have the cortex below the cuticle. And I would say that that would represent our soul. And then you have the innermost part of the hair strand, which is the medulla. And I would say that is representing our spirit. Now, when we look like that demonstration on the left, dry, damaged hair, that's how we look when we are broken and we're bitter and our heart is hard. But on the right side, you see smooth, healthy hair. If we put some conditioner on it, this is what we're going to get. So in life, we got to put on some love conditioner. When we are, now that is what you see now is the condition that we created. And it's called It's a Hit because trust me, it smooths out those cuticles. And this is what we're saying in life. Love conditioner will smooth out any hurt, any disappointments, hard hearts. This is what we're going to need is love. Now I have Pastor Brian is going to come on. I'm going to pass him the mic so he can really, really give us a perspective of what God is saying about love. So if Pastor Brian would take the mic.
Good evening. Thank you for the mic. The scriptures that was chosen is 1 Corinthians 13:4 and 5 says, Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. Love does not parade itself. It is not puffed up. Does not behave rudely. Does not seek its own. Is not provoked. Thinks no evil. Now, when we're talking about love, of course, the agape love is God Himself. That is a love that has no bounds, no limits. That means whatever issue you may have in life, God is never going to stop loving you. It's hard to find people that can just not that will not stop loving you. However, there is another love, eros, between a man and a woman. And then we talk about the love. Last week we were talking about phileo is the brotherly love. Comes Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love. But when we're dealing with this subject of love, and I love how my wife put it, that love conditioner, in order to get your hair straightened out, if you're having some breakage, if some problems are going with it, you have to put some conditioner on it. Love is the type of conditioner that you need to put on your relationships with your brothers, your sisters, your wife, your husband, whoever they may be, even in friendships. And I feel like our problem is, especially in relationships, we don't require the same love that we give. Now, God doesn't require that because He knows that nobody can love, like He can love. However, when we are choosing mates and choosing people that we are going to walk with, the Bible says two can't walk together unless they agree. The biggest problem I feel like some people get on an elevator and they're up on the 10th or the 20th floor while their mate is still between level 1 and level 2 because they took the stairs. If you want that relationship to grow right, you need to go back downstairs. You need to go between level 1 and level 2 and walk up with them. That you need to connect with a person that you're walking going at the same pace. And when you're higher, when your love is more dominant than the love of the person, they might not love you at all. So we have to revisit this thing. Stevie Wonder wrote one of my favorite songs. I talked about it last week. It says, what the world he says, good morning, evening, friends. It's your friendly announcer. I have serious news to pass on to everybody. What I'm about to say could mean the world's disaster, could change your joy and laughter into tears and pain. It's that love is in need of love today. Don't delay. Send your love in. Around breaking their heart. Stop these before it goes too far. We got to put some love conditioning on our lives, on our relationships, in every situation. We need to learn how to love. When it comes down to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, the entire chapter, verses 1 through 13. It talks about what love is, but it also talks about what love is not. And we can't be afraid to say this is not love when you're mistreated. This is not love when somebody's beating on you. This is not love when somebody's putting you down and speaking bad things about you. That's not love. The Bible says love is not puffed up. It's never evil. And then the last one, 13 and 13, says this. It says, these three remains: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Start with love. End with love. Love yourself enough and get your love right, and put conditioning on your own self before you can try to even put it on somebody else. I give the mic back to Faye.
Wow, wow, wow. You just brought it all to a head. And I am so excited to introduce this next guest because even through all her brokenness and hurts and disappointments, she has still been able to push out love. And
Yeah.
she's going to talk to us about how to love in brokenness. And this is none other than our dear friend, Jackie Fryer. I give the mic to you, Jackie.
Thank you, Faye. Hello, and thank you for having me on this evening. I know last week the devil was trying to be busy, but we're going to push forward with the message anyway. So, as she said, just to talk to you a little bit about my experience. I'm neither a doctor nor a therapist, but I firmly believe in God and how He wastes nothing and can use anybody for His glory and our good. I believe that everyone at some point in your life, whatever you have gone through, it's a testimony to help someone else come along. And so I just wanted to explain and just share with you how those things help me get to where I'm at right now. So my life experience has brought me many valuable lessons. So even when I don't like the outcome, I can claim some kind of a lesson. I win. I might not like the outcome, but I win in the end. And being a cosmetologist for 28 years and knowing what a conditioner was designed for, and Miss Faye, you explained it beautifully. And so hopefully you will get a good enough analogy to understand how we connect those two together. And one of the things I will say is that if you don't know what a thing is purposed and designed for, there will be a tendency to overuse, misuse, or abuse it. So any benefit that could be gotten from it will be null and void. So, in the essence of time, I will refer to the basic conditioner. There are many types of conditioners, but we're going to just talk about the basic conditioner and then what it does. The benefits of it: it will deposit moisture by way of complex ingredients designed to enter the hair shaft. It will close the cuticle layer, locking in that moisture, putting a protective layer to the strands for strength. So that everyday living, being exposed to the world, pollutants, sun, fixing your hair, the blow drying, flat irons, etc. You get my point. The conditioner helps combat or correct the damage that was done. So you're asking, okay, how does this all connect with love? For me, in my experience, after 29 years of marriage, birthing and raising four amazing humans, and then divorced, and all that comes with that, I've had my share of heartache. And adding to that, countless women and men sitting in my chair sharing their stories. I have seen what can happen when that lack of love raises the cuticles of your heart. How many times have you witnessed, knew, or maybe it was even you, that your energy was so negative and jaded that nothing was positive? You couldn't see anything positive in your life. Everything was just like gloom and doom, that you think to yourself, who hurt them? Or who hurt you? The reality is that hurt people hurt people. Relationships are one of the most consequential parts of our life. God designed us to be relational. If the relationships that we have, whether it's romantic, friends, family, or work, if we operate in a space of lack, it will prevent us from living the most abundant life God desires for us. So when these relationships go south, and oftentimes we're left with the fallout that we don't know what to do with our hearts because they become bitter, judgmental, skeptical, disillusioned about life. So I was all of those things at one point or more in my life. And it left me in a really bad space. So what happens when it seems to be never ending? Our outlook is affected. Traumatized and depressed, we go through life not enjoying it. And trust me, I'm speaking again from my life. The cuticles of my heart will raise. The joy and the happiness, they're breaking off, leaving me in a terrible frame of mind. It will have you making the wrong decisions, chasing love because you want to fill that void in your heart, but you're going about it all the wrong way. Being bitter, not wanting to be vulnerable, closing myself off because no one likes to be hurt, right? It's not a good feeling. We don't like rejection. It's not a good feeling. So I closed myself off. Self-love wasn't present because for years I let all of that negativity, it took root in my heart. But thank God for Jesus. So when I thought about this topic, love conditioner, man, I had to think back to what got me to where I am today. My heart is in a way better place today than it's ever been. But I'm still a work in progress, and I'm very blessed to have a small, dynamic tribe of people who see me, actually see me, who I am. I don't have to put up fronts with them. They poured into me when I couldn't even pour into myself, when I couldn't even encourage myself. They helped restore me. They spoke life into my circumstances, never judging, but definitely not yes people, praying with me and praying for me. They gave me unconditional love. And I believe that was God's way of showing up in my life, of rescuing me, saving me from myself. My outlook on life is much brighter. I show up as a woman taking space, encouraging others, and pushing and pulling them along if need be. Setting boundaries and understanding that life is going to life. It is most important how we respond to that. I understand who I am and my purpose, and I'm being okay with who I am. So it really doesn't matter what other people think about you. What do you think about you? That's what's important because that's what's going to show up to the world. What you think about you. That conditioner has laid down the rough edges of my heart. It is imperative that you have destiny altering people in your life, mentors, life coaches, best friends, etc. You get what I'm saying, right? Again, we were not created to do this thing alone, this thing called life. And there's about 7 types of love, and Pastor Brian touched on some of them, but I only touched on a few. I touched on agape, which is unconditional love, philia, which is our friend love, eros, which is romantic, and philanthropia, which is your self love. So now, after you've heard all of this, and you'll hear from the next dynamic speaker, when you have all of this information, we're responsible for it. So when you get that information, now you're responsible for it. So the next time you come across somebody with those negative attributes, hopefully you have a paradigm shift in your thinking and your response will be different because now we know that maybe, just maybe, they need some love conditioner. Faye, I pass you the mic.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. I am so encouraged. Listen, I can relate when you are hurt and you become so bitter. It
Yes.
really immobilizes you.
Ooh,
You become so bitter where you don't want to do anything positive. All you want to do is think about what they did, what they said,
you
and it captivates your mind and your thoughts, and you constantly have to cast down vain imagination,
for
bring
sure.
my thoughts into captivity. But the devil keep playing it over and over like a movie, what they
Yes.
said, what they did, how
Yes.
dare them do. But you know what I found out, that is a form of pride.
Yes.
I say, I got pride. Yes, that's
Yes.
pride. How I dare they treat me this way? I dare they talk to me, me. Pride is nothing but me and I.
Yes. For
So
sure.
a lot of times when people do things to hurt us and we have to put this love conditioner on, it's not easy. It's not easy to love someone that hurt you.
Right.
But I'm telling you, when you have God's love,
That's right.
you will see from his heart and understand what that person that offended you really need. Like you
Yes.
say, hurt people.
For sure.
And they don't even know that they are doing it. So
That's
that was
good,
an
Faye.
awesome word. Awesome word.
Thank you,
Now
Faye. That was
listen,
good.
when you can no longer use conditioner, when that hair has been broken all the way to the core, all the way down to your spirit, you need more than just some conditioner. You
Yes.
need a treatment,
Trim.
and a trim. Listen, and so a lot of times people always uh, get damaged by going. I'm gonna say in hair, they go to what, the YouTube university to show them what to do to their hair.
Right.
That's not a professional. And then they try and fix it themselves. They aren't professional. And that's why they keep being broken and they keep staying in the same
It's a
place
bad cycle.
because they are not seeking for help. They're going to their friends who are already broken. And so a broken person is going to advise you, encourage you through brokenness. So they're not going to give you anything to encourage you, to make you feel better, to move forward in love. They're going to talk to you in bitterness and you're going to become more bitter. So I'm going to bring on our next guest because when that hair is broken all the way down to the core, you need a professional licensed mental health. She is a mental health counselor.
Yeah, we can't be
And
scared of
I
that.
wanted to just give a little short testimony. I can't go into it because she had to be confidential with this particular person, but this person had to go through counseling to come off of probation. And of course, I recommended her because I know she has helped so many people, and she has helped me. Okay, we all have some issues. Don't think that you just exempt from needing some counseling. And she does not show any favor. She tells you the truth, and she loves God and she speaks from God's mouth. And she helped this person realize who they were and why they were so angry and so bitter and so withdrawn. And so by taking him to a licensed mental health counselor was the best thing I have ever done. And I'm going to pass the mic to Asia. Asia Loomis, come on. I give you the mic and just take the floor because I know we are in for a treat.
Well, thank you, Miss Faye. So yeah, what is love? When you think of love, and what does love have to do with our mental well-being? Earlier, Miss Faye shared, that we're spirit, we're soul, and we're body, and we need to tend to spirit, body, and soul, three in one. And we need love. Love is essential to how we thrive daily. And the next thing is that I heard Miss Jackie share, about relationships and being relational creatures. Yes, we are relational creatures. And so we need that social support. Miss Jackie also shared that in her life, she became broken from also some relationships. And I'm sure we all can agree that we have been broken, we have been hurt, and we're going to need some conditioning, right? Some love conditioning every day. Every day we need love. We need love in order to thrive. What does that look like? What does love look like for you? Have you asked yourself what it is that you need in your moments of brokenness? I was sharing earlier that our mental well-being, and that entails how we think, how we communicate, how we learn. It also affects our self-esteem. And children while in utero, they're affected by the very thing called love. And how is that? How is that possible? Well, our brains are pretty smart, even from in utero, because we are pretty much detecting how we're going to survive. And a child, the brain is intelligently designed, trying to learn the environment. And so a thriving environment entails love. And like I said, that love looks like support. That love looks like attachment, healthy attachment. That love will cause any person to have confidence. That love will cause any person to have increased self esteem. That love will cause healthy relationships and boundaries. That that love will cause us to think clearly. And so from from the very early stages, like I stated, of development, our brain is trying to detect what looks like love. And in contrast to love, it's fear. And so this is why I'm saying it is very important for us to have love in our lives. And so our brain also operates with chemicals. So that's how our brain communicates. So if we're speaking of mental health and mental wellness, our relationships are important. The things that we do, the things that's in our environment, it is important because that's how we thrive. And so, like I was sharing, if we're not in healthy relationships, if we're not getting the support that we need, then we're going to be in survival mode. And like I said, the brain is operating with chemicals. When we detect something supportive, because we're in this seek pleasure zone, that's just how we're built. We're going to always want to feel pleasure. We're going to always want to seek after something that's pleasurable. And our brain is going to tell us that that is what is rewarding. And so it's causing a lot of brain activity. It's causing a lot of stimulation in our brains. And it's making us feel good. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually great. And so that causes us to be attracted to whatever it is. Actually, those are the dopamine receptors in our brains. And unfortunately, when people don't feel loved, we hear of addiction and people using or abusing drugs. Well, I have to tell you, some of those opioid drugs, they operate in those pathways where we want to receive pleasure. And that's the same place that our brain is responding to this thing, this concept called love. So innately, we're designed for love. And it's important to ask yourself what love looks like. If you're, like I said, if you're not experiencing love, especially from a very young age, you're going to be operating in another side of your brain, which is your fear zone. And that's your survival mechanism because your brain has taught you that your environment is not healthy. It's not going to cause you to thrive. And so individuals who operate from the fear zone are constantly either aggressive, they're hostile, they'll tend to be fearful, operate from the fear zone, thinking that there's going to be hurt, thinking that there's going to be harm. So we definitely need healing, and love is very healing. And so we, like, I can't emphasize enough, we need love daily. And so think about in your own life what it is that you could do to embrace whatever that love looks like. And that could be starting with being vulnerable. And that's to open up for trust, um, being responsible, taking accountability, opening up for support from others. That means assessing areas of your life where there is hurt, where there is pain, wherever you feel broken. Admitting brokenness is important to your mental well being. And what happens to individuals if they don't address brokenness, if they don't address not feeling love? Because, like I said, innately we're seeking this thing called love. Whether you want to admit it or not, I shared earlier in conversation, we have our own love languages. But in fact, we are asking every day in our thoughts, in our attitudes, in our relationships for three things. And these three things equate to love for us. And keep this in mind, it's feeling significant, it's feeling appreciated, and being approved. These are the things that you're looking for in your relationships. These are the things that you're just looking for in life to feel good about yourself. Remember, your brain is connected also. Your brain is asking for these pleasurable moments. And unfortunately, when we don't experience these moments, we're operating now in different zones of our brain, like I said. And that's the fear zone. And then we go over into anxiety, we go over into depression, And then if we don't take care of these things, they can exacerbate. They go into physical illnesses and other mental illnesses. So we really need to assess what love looks like for us. What is it that we need? Areas of brokenness in our own lives, and try to reach out for help and support in order to feel that love every day. Okay.
So you passing the mic back to me?
I'm passing the mic back to you, Miss Bay. Yes.
Oh my God, Asia. We had a free counseling session today. Thank you so, so much. And I love how you say, admit that you're broken. Some people are too proud to say, you broke me, you hurt me. It's okay. A person needs to know how you make them feel, not gifts and all the things you do. If you just be open to say, you hurt me, it's okay. That let go pride and say, you hurt me with that. By saying that, by doing that. And love, by love, it will just smooth it out, just like the love conditioner. And
Yeah.
then I love how you gave us 3 points of what we're looking for: significant, appreciation, and approval. And that is so, oh my God, that just sums up everything. That is something we are seeking daily from people that we feel that should love us. Am
Mhm.
I correct? And
That's
I'm
correct.
telling you, Asia, that was an awesome word. And listen, we have a lot of people that are responding to that word and have been blessed by that word. But we are going to go to a commercial break and we're going to come back and we want to see what Pastor Brian can seal up all that just took place when we come back.
My favorite thing about my salon is the Texture Club. It looks like this, but it feels like this. One easy monthly payment that transforms the way I look and feel. So when I leave, I feel like I'm walking the runway, all dolled up.
A beautiful journey. I've always dreamed of an exciting, passion-filled career in the beauty industry. When enrolled in Cosmos School, it was amazing. After all, beauty was my thing, but I knew it was just the beginning. Next, I needed to find a salon home that was going to help me take it up a notch. aducareer.com showed me the way. Teamwork, branding development, coaching, product knowledge, and more. The apprentice training program changed my life. Find out more about the amazing possibilities.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Awesome. Awesome. Now, Woody, could you just put all my guests on the same page so we can answer some of these questions and comments that we have? I am just so full. I am so full. We have Sarah Billett. She is saying that was a powerful word. I'm glad you were blessed by it. Georgiana Georgina Showers is saying it was awesome. Yes, it was. Really enjoyed the word. It was very powerful. So everybody has really been blessed by this word. Really enjoyed the broadcast. Much grace to you all. Thank you so much, Mr. Facey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank all of you for joining us to listen to what we have to say on Give Me the Mic. Give Me the Mic is about the power of words. So we hoping that when you leave this broadcast that you would carry love condition, everything that we talked about throughout your life, not just throughout the week, but throughout life. And I promise you it will change your whole trajectory of what you're going through. I'm Asia has been such a blessing to me. And I want to let y'all know this is a prayer warrior. She can pray. She'll pray you out of some things. You know, She just don't talk professionally. She go into the spirit realm and she can pray you out of something. So that I believe with that component, with what she has knowledge of,
Yeah.
God is really, really using you to really bring us as a people away from what the enemy is trying to do in our minds. In our minds. My husband always say I overthink, overthink, and I do. The enemy always make me think things are bigger
Mm,
than what they are. He takes a little
mm,
anthill and make it a big old mountain. And it's not even the way that I have imagined it. You know, we
mm.
sometimes our imagination is worse than our reality.
Mm.
We
Right.
are worried about things that's not even a reality. So I'm gonna give the mic back to
Yes.
you, Pastor. Can you just bring all this together for us?
Well, I want to actually use the panel today because we have Dr. Asia on, Counselor Asia, and I want to ask a question. I hope everybody will start asking some questions while we're here.
Yeah.
Jackie can answer a lot of questions. Jackie's, like she say, life is lifing. So, we've been through life for a while, and y'all need to jump in and ask why y'all got this, as my wife said, free help on the line. Miss Asia, Sister Asia, listen, people that come out of relationships, they always carrying baggage into a new relationship. And they can
Mm,
always fuss and argue and complain about what their new friend or spouse or person is doing, but they don't really see the stuff that they carry into this relationship that they say, you just like that last person, or you just like that last person. And
mm,
a lot of times it's not that I'm like that last person. I'm not talking about me and my wife because we don't play that stuff. But instead of saying you just like that last person, no, you're the last person that was with that last person,
come
and
on.
you bringing that into my relationship, and I'm not a part of that. How do you help that person, Miss Asia, that come with that kind of baggage?
I stated earlier, love heals. And one of the ways to express love is through communication, effective, healthy communication. Now, keep in mind that we have to be also, let me throw out another uh, uh, word that we use in the field, well, two words, and it's called emotional intelligence.
Yes.
So sometimes when
Mm,
we're aware that somebody is hurt, and chances are we all are, like I said,
very good.
we're all walking around with our own brokenness, our own hurt. So we have to be mindful of the areas that we're hurt. And unfortunately, if we're not, we're going to point fingers. So let's bring it back to ourselves, So relationship seeking is one of the ways that individuals like to soothe their own hurt. And it's coming from that fear response in, that survival uh, mode in that brain, because probably there was some poor attachment, there wasn't feeling of safety, security, which is love, from early days in childhood. And so what we'll see is that when these needs are not met and there's some healing that's needed, it's going to be translated now into our interpersonal relationships. And so we are bringing these wounds into other relationships, and we're hoping that the person that we're with is going to fix the problem. But that person also, they
That's
have their
good. That's
own
good.
issues. They have their own needs, they have their own healing. So I always try to encourage individuals to introspect, do that self inventory. What is it that you need from this person, this relationship, and you're probably feeling that you're not getting it?
Mm,
Is I had asked someone one time, she was catastrophizing and felt that she needed this person, and she thought that that person was going to meet all her needs because she had everything else, and she was looking for the final answer in a relationship. And I shared earlier that love also helps us with positive thinking and positive feeling. And so if we're not feeling that, then we're going to seek after it from somebody else. And I asked the question, can somebody love you more than you love yourself?
Wow.
And she stopped because she was looking for somebody to do something for her that had to start with her. So I'd say start with
Mm.
yourselves.
That is good.
Can
Very.
I add to that a little bit?
Please.
Yeah.
I love what you're saying about introspection, because I think oftentimes we jump out of a relationship right into something else. Like you said, searching for that. But I think if we stop, just stop and really understand, okay, look at that last relationship. What went wrong? What did I contribute to the demise of it? Um, what am
Mm.
I lacking? And a lot of times, and I'm sure you can, it'll go back to your childhood.
Hmm.
You're
Very good.
carrying some baggage from family stuff, and
That's
so
true.
you have to take the time to really and not rush back into it, because people are here. Ain't nobody going nowhere. So just take that time, learn who
Yes.
you are, and be
Right.
okay with who you
Right.
are, and
I
really
li-
work, like you said, heal
Hmm.
and learn about yourself,
Yes.
so that you're not looking for somebody to supply all of this stuff to
Right.
you.
I
That's
like
not
that. I like
for
that, sis.
you. It's
uh,
heavy for somebody else to have to carry that.
Yeah.
amen.
I
And
We
love that.
have
sorry.
we have
I,
this question.
I'm sorry.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry. Go
Go
ahead,
ahead.
Pastor.
Go
We
ahead,
have a
Smith.
question. She said, "How do we get people to try therapy?" And a lot of
Mm,
people don't
Mm.
like therapy because they think they okay.
That's
Hmm.
right.
they don't
So
trust.
how do we get people to try therapy? Brian,
Well,
you do a lot of counseling.
we
How do
all
they?
need therapy,
Uh-huh.
including the therapist. The therapist needs therapy. So yeah, 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 yep.
I like
So
that.
That's good.
That's
you,
good.
the name of my business is called Change My Life. And if there's
Mm,
no change in our lives, that means we're stagnant or we're just dead.
Very
And
good.
change equates to growth.
yes.
Yes.
So my question is, where do you need growth in your life? Because
Mm.
therapy is that starting place for you.
Yes.
Where can you grow? Or do you just want to stay in that so-called comfort zone? And is anything rewarding about just staying right there? We all have
Mm,
purposes. Not we're not built for one thing.
mhm,
If we're an
mhm,
extension of God, right, and
mm,
his
mm,
creativity.
mhm,
So we see that we don't travel by donkeys anymore. We see how we're traveling, by plane today. So life changes. Life evolves.
mm,
Life is all about evolving. So we're not doing things how we used to do them back then. We're now having a meeting, a discussion. You're someplace, I'm in a different place, and that's because of technology and it advances. So do you want to advance? And so
mm.
therapy is a place that you can grow, you can learn
Yes.
about yourself. Therapy is a place
Yes.
that allows you to be able to introspect and also be honest with yourself and say,
Mm.
hey, I need healing. I need to take accountability for certain things for myself too.
That's
And
good.
Part.
I can trust a safe space
Yes.
and speak to a professional about
Mhm,
me for the areas that I need to grow.
mhm.
That's good.
That's good.
Amen.
That's good.
That's
And
That's
that
good.
good.
I like you how you say a safe place
Yes.
Right.
because people will take, your problems and use it against you and they
That's
really
why
not
it's
helping you
important to
because
who you talk
Yeah,
yeah.
to.
you have to trust who you're talking to.
Who you talk
Dr.
to.
Asia, something you said I really like. You said they're going into these relationships with wounds, and I like to add to that. They're going in with open wounds. They're
Mm,
wounds that are wide open
bleeding.
that has never healed, and because of that, I would like to ask our friend Jackie, a question. Jackie,
Hmm.
knowing everything that you've been through, I heard your testimony. I've cried with you before. 29 years of marriage. marriage, a divorce, raising four kids, the issues, money stuff, all that stuff from being on the mountain and then being under the valley.
Come on
You know,
now.
what would you tell your young self right now, knowing the things you've been through? What would you tell your young self to help you along that journey?
Well, honestly, what I would have told my
Get
young
out! No, I'm just kidding. Get out while you can.
no, um, to take your time. Just
Mm,
take your time. I the way I'm built, and Faye knows me. I get something in my head, and I have to get it done. I'm impulsive at times. So what I would have told myself was you know hold up on the impulsivity and take your time and
Take your
yeah.
really
time.
I'm gonna share this. I met and married my husband within 3 months. I didn't know him.
Mm,
I didn't know him. He didn't know me. You see what I'm
wow.
Right.
saying?
Wow. Because not only are
True
you
love.
talking to your young self right now, you're talking to a lot of young people who
Yes.
are engaging in marriage, just getting started, and they need to hear your story.
Well, I tell you, there's a lot of stuff that we get counseling on, or if we start a new job, we get training on. A lot of us don't get that training on marriage. We just and we're bringing in
Yeah.
like well, my friendship, my circle of people, they were broken marriages. It was abusive. It
Wow.
was dysfunctional,
Wow.
and you only know what you know. Even though I said I'm not
Exactly.
going to be in a relationship that
Gotcha.
I didn't know
Yeah.
anything other than. So,
Gotcha.
I would say just to take your time and get to know a person.
I agree,
Because we
Jackie.
don't
Huh.
know what love is, we went straight from infatuation to marriage.
Yes,
Mhm.
lust
Wow. That's
to
Lust,
marriage.
lust of the flesh, what?
Yes,
Pride of life, and what
yes,
else?
that's right. That's amazing.
yeah.
But
But
thank
I
you,
wouldn't
Miss
change
Jack.
it though. I wouldn't change it now though.
Because
Right,
look
It
at
right.
you
made
who
me
you
who I
are.
am.
Yes, it
Exactly.
made you who you were.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who you
But we
are.
can
I'm
always
sorry.
reach back and talk to somebody else about, and like she said, like Faith says, people are hiding stuff. They won't tell people certain things. And you have to be in a safe place. You have to be around somebody you can trust with your stuff. Because you
Yes.
can't trust any and everybody with your stuff. But somebody like Dr. Asia,
Yes.
they can't tell your stuff. They're trained
I know.
professionals to help you with your
Exactly.
stuff. So
Exactly.
please go listen. Stop dumping your trash in the street. Go dump your trash where it need to be.
To change my life. Yeah,
No, it
change
really
my life.
does. And
What's
you
the
But
name of the business? What is the name, Sister Asia?
Change my life therapy.
amen.
Change
Amen.
My Life Therapy. And where are you located?
Well, currently I'm all telehealth. It's a telehealth platform.
okay.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
That's
Awesome.
Well,
awesome.
you helped us today, and we so appreciate you and thank you for all that you have given us today. And the check gonna be in the mail. It probably be $2, but we the check in the mail.
Behave, Brian. Listen, Asia, I
Thank you
want
so
to
very much.
also thank you for what you did for my grandson. And it was totally confidential. You never shared anything with me about what he shared with you and what you shared with him. But I want to tell you that I saw a big change, and he even used his therapy on me. And I still remember it to this day. Everything you taught him, he went and gave me the therapy. So
Amen.
it was powerful. It was powerful.
Well, good
So
So it's
I
therapists will give you
contagious.
tools. A good
It's
excuse
therapist will
me.
give you
contagious, so
tools.
that's good.
Hmm.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so thank you guys for coming. If there's no more comments, I think we're just gonna go on out.
Okay. All right.
All right. Woody, can you take us on out? Thank you guys for coming. Hope to see you next